The death of my sister.
For which you blame me.
She was raped and murdered by the Mountain. The Mountain follows your orders. Of course I blame you.
This is Prince Oberyn Martell, the Red Viper of Dorne, a man driven by a singular, passionate, and non-negotiable quest for vengeance. On the other side stands Lord Tywin Lannister, the Hand of the King, the most powerful man in Westeros, and the living embodiment of cold, calculated, rational thought. Tywin, a master of political maneuvering, fatally miscalculates by treating Oberyn's all-consuming need for justice as just another political deal to be brokered. He believes passion can be bought with power. At the same time, Oberyn's own trauma-fueled rage clouds his judgment, making him predictable and vulnerable to the very political machinery he despises. To understand the true impact of this scene, first, we need some context. King Joffrey is dead, poisoned at his own wedding feast. The capital is in chaos, and Tywin Lannister's primary goal is to project order and stability for the new, pliable King Tommen. To do this, he must stage a formal, public trial for the accused assassin, his own son, Tyrion. But Tywin is also playing a larger game. He is surrounded by threats. To secure his dynasty, he needs Dorne, and that means he needs Oberyn Martell. Oberyn, however, is in King's Landing for one reason: vengeance. He openly blames Tywin for the brutal rape and murder of his sister, Elia Martell, and her children during the sack of King's Landing. He is not here to build alliances. He is here to collect a blood debt. The scene begins with a profound concession of power. Tywin Lannister, a man who presides over formal spaces like the small council chamber, has abandoned the prestige of the Red Keep. He has come to Oberyn's turf, a brothel. This act of coming to the opponent immediately signals desperation and concedes psychological leverage. As Tywin enters, Oberyn, surrounded by his companions, is in total control of the environment. He is dressing, pouring wine, and forces the most powerful man in Westeros to stand and wait.
Would you like to sit?
No, thank you.
Tywin's curt refusals are an attempt to maintain his authority, but the physical reality is undeniable. Oberyn is at ease, and Tywin is the petitioner. Oberyn then offers a condolence that is, in reality, the first attack.
I don't believe that a child is responsible for the sins of his father or his grandfather.
This is a direct, emotional jab. Oberyn is not just offering sympathy. He is implying Joffrey's murder was a form of karmic justice for Tywin's own sins, namely, the murder of Elia's children. Tywin, the master of calculation, ignores the emotional bait. His mind is on the immediate political crisis, Joffrey's murder. He begins his interrogation, attempting to control the narrative.
An awful way to die.
Which way is that?
The king was poisoned.
Oberyn openly mocks Tywin's attempt at political spin. He will not allow Tywin to frame this as anything other than what it was. Tywin, unfazed, continues his calculated probe, laying out a logical case against Oberyn himself.
I hear you studied poisons at the Citadel.
I did. This is why I know.
Your hatred for my family is rather well known. You arrive at the capital an expert in poisoning. Some days later, my grandson dies of poisoning.
This is Tywin's first move. He is laying out the facts that could condemn Oberyn, but Oberyn, recognizing the leverage he holds, calls his bluff. Oberyn knows Tywin wouldn't have come here alone to arrest him. He knows Tywin needs him. Tywin's threat collapses, so he pivots to his true target, Tyrion.
You spoke with Tyrion in this very brothel on the day that you arrived. What did you discuss?
You think we conspired together?
What did you discuss?
The death of my sister.
For which you blame me.
She was raped and murdered by the Mountain. The Mountain follows your orders. Of course I blame you.
This is the core of the entire scene, a threat. Tywin, operating with logic, is trying to solve the present crime, Joffrey's murder. Oberyn, driven by his emotional core, is trapped in the past trauma, Elia's murder. He has no interest in Tywin's political chessboard. Oberyn's focus is singular, passionate, and non-negotiable. He doesn't care about Tywin's larger political problems. He is here for a blood debt. This is the moment of Tywin's fatal miscalculation. He believes he is dealing with a man of reason, a fellow political operator whose passions can be managed and negotiated.
So here I stand, unarmed, unguarded. Should I be concerned?
You are unarmed and unguarded because you know me better than that. I am a man of reason. If I cut your throat today, I will be drawn and quartered tomorrow.
Tywin hears this and suffers from theory-induced blindness. He hears man of reason and consequences, and his System 2 brain confirms that Oberyn is a rational actor, just like him. He fails to see that Oberyn's reason is merely a tool to achieve his all-consuming, irrational System 1 goal, vengeance. Tywin now begins the negotiation, first by attempting to sanitize the past and absolve himself.
Men at war commit all kinds of crimes without their superiors' knowledge.
So you deny involvement in Elia's murder?
Categorically.
Oberyn rejects the political spin. He doesn't want an apology. He wants the mountain. This is the non-negotiable demand. Tywin sees his opening and believes he can use this demand as a bargaining chip.
There will be a trial for my son, and as custom dictates, 3 judges will render a verdict. I would like you to be the third.
Asking me to judge at your son's trial isn't quite as tempting.
This is Tywin's offer, political power. He is trying to buy Oberyn's loyalty and cooperation. But Oberyn, driven by his trauma, has no interest in this currency. Tywin, misreading the situation, simply sweetens the deal, offering an even bigger political prize.
I will also invite you to sit on the small council, to serve as one of the new king's principal advisors.
Tywin follows this massive offer with his grand System 2 strategic overview. He lays out all the threats: the Greyjoys, the Wildlings, and a Targaryen girl has 3 dragons, and explains that he needs Dorne to return to the fold. This is the moment Oberyn knows he has won. His System 1 mind, fueled by the hot emotion of his trauma, isn't processing the geopolitical threats. It is substituting this complex political problem for the simple emotional one he came to solve. He has found Tywin's weakness.
You're saying you need us. That must be hard for you to admit.
This is Oberyn seizing the high ground. Tywin, desperate to close the deal and secure his alliance, makes his final, fatal offer, attempting to frame it as a mutual, logical exchange between 2 men of reason.
We need each other. You help me serve justice to the king's assassins, and I will help you serve justice to Elia's.
Tywin believes he has just managed Oberyn. He thinks he has secured a judge for Tyrion's trial, political justice, in exchange for a future, controlled punishment for the Mountain, personal justice. But Oberyn, in his trauma-fueled quest, has heard something entirely different. He has heard Tywin Lannister, the man he blames for his sister's murder, give him a legal, state-sanctioned path to Gregor Clegane. Tywin's concession is the very key Oberyn needed. It ensures that when Tyrion demands a trial by combat and Cersei names the Mountain, Oberyn can volunteer as champion. It provides the perfect legal stage for him to enact his personal, traumatic reenactment, to not just kill the Mountain, but to force a public confession. This brothel negotiation is the collision that seals both men's fates. Tywin's miscalculation was believing that Oberyn's passionate quest was a negotiable price that could be paid with political currency. He thought he was hiring a rational judge, but instead empowered a passionate executioner whose only goal was vengeance. This miscalculation leads directly to the trial by combat, which in turn leads to Tyrion's escape and Tywin's own death. Oberyn's tragic flaw was that his all-consuming, trauma-fueled rage made him predictable. His compulsion to reenact the trauma, his desperate need to hear the confession, overrode his executive function and self-preservation instincts during the duel, leading directly to his horrific death. In this room, both men won their immediate goals. Tywin secured his judge. Oberyn secured his path to the Mountain. But in doing so, they both lit the fuse on their own destruction, proving that in the Game of Thrones, cold logic can be fatally blind to passion, and pure passion is fatally vulnerable to the rules of the game.